In this video, I'll be providing you with some quitting advice from my years of quitting experience. Hey buddies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina, also known as Happy, and I'm currently an applied animal biology student and a veterinary assistant. And in this channel, we'll be focusing on life topics that may bring unique values into each of our unique lives. As a disclaimer, this video is basically not telling you to not persist with anything in life. I am someone who also is sometimes very persistent and pretty stubborn sometimes with my life choices. So it's basically a video based on my experience of the things that I've tried and I've quit and how they have made me a happier person and basically live a more fulfilling life overall. So I'll list the topics that we're gonna be covering today just right here. Ding, ding, ding. I have actually persisted with one thing for a very long time in my life since elementary school, which is something to do with veterinary medicine, and I'm still discovering new things about it. But I have also quit so many things in my life. I've learned so many different types of musical instruments, from cello to a Chinese instrument called erhu, to piano and to flute, and I am basically not continuing to progress further in those fields anymore. Means I have quit those fields, and I have also tried out many different types of experiences, like working at a Vietnamese restaurant when I first started, and to McDonald's, to different types of animal volunteers. And those things, they have each bring different values into my life, but it's just that I am no longer actively participating in those type of workplaces or the activities itself. With that, I would like to introduce you guys to a book. It's called The Happy, Sexy Millionaire by Bartlett. I am currently still going through this book because I kind of read quite slowly. I am trying to develop that skill. But in this book, he just talks about quitting. And he defines quitting as a special type of skill. It's something that you'll need to develop over time, and it may be very beneficial to you in the long run. Leading into the first topic, I would want to start by saying that my parents, they are actually some very untraditional Taiwanese parents, because they have never blamed me for wanting to quit something growing up. As anecdotal as it may sound, quitting doesn't actually mean you quit. That's what I have realized. So let's take piano for an example. I have started learning piano since I was 3 years old, and I continued to learn it until I was around 13 years old. And surprisingly, my parents supported me for my decision. I quit piano and I decided to not play in front of anyone. I was so ashamed for the next 8 years until the past 2 years. It was when I started getting the sense of piano back, but this time it was quite different, because this time I actually am enjoying the music. I basically would play piano when I am stressed, or when I face obstacles in my workplace, or basically anything that is not going well in my life. Point number 2, keeping yourself happy. So quitting can actually keep yourself happier from my experience. I am someone who likes to try out a bunch of new things, so of course I do experience the ups and downs, and I do have lows sometimes, but most of the time, I would say majority of the time, I make the decision because I am just unhappy, or I don't feel fulfilled in the place that I am at. So let's say you're at a workplace where you're just very stressed all the time, or you're just feeling emotionally drained, or maybe you're just not liking the work content or the environment that you're working at. At this moment of time, I would like you guys to ask yourself whether it would be something that would be worth it for you to continue, or maybe if you let it go, you will have a better emotional outcome. What I have learned basically is you cannot change anyone around you but yourself. Because in attempts of trying to change people around you, it usually, most of the time, will lead to arguments. And sometimes being able to leave is a good thing, because you give yourself an emotional break and a mental break from all the outside factors, and you're actually able to focus on yourself and the things that you want to do. For me, at least, I realize that when I'm under a lot of constant stress, or I am very unhappy most of the time, I would lose my creativity, and my interest in doing a lot of things in life. Point number 3 is quitting actually gives you a chance to try out new things. Basically, how I look at it is when I quit something, I have an empty slot in my schedule. And before I go in and attempt anything new, I usually give myself a mental break and just clear my thoughts. And when the new opportunity comes, I will just take it. Because what I am the most afraid of in my life is not uncertainty. Of course, uncertainty can give you a sort of fear because you don't know what is coming. But what you should be afraid of should be going down the direction or the rabbit hole where you are just persisting because you don't know what other better things are out there for you to discover. So just give something new a try, and you will never know what will come up that will surprise you. An example for this is actually over the past term, I have realized that towards the end that I have taken up way too many opportunities. And of course, I am just very glad that I have the chance to try out all those opportunities out there. But at the end of the day, they were just way too much. I have overloaded myself. So I decided to give up some of those opportunities and just give myself a little break. My creativity basically came back because I had that time to think and reflect for myself. And I planned a trip to Yukon, and it has been one of the most wonderful experiences that I have so far in my university career. So the fourth point is actually not so much of what quitting can bring you, but more of a condition that I give myself when I am quitting. I'll put out the framework right here. So it's also from the book Happy, Sexy, Millionaire. So it's a quitting framework that I find it pretty useful. It gives you a visualization and gives you a framework to look at when you're deciding between your big decision of whether you should quit or not. I would say for me, quitting shouldn't be something that I try to avoid the obstacles or hardships in life. Because when I quit due to those kind of reasons, it usually gives me a negative lasting impression of myself with that kind of activity. So the experience that I have with this type of negative quitting mentality is with my sailboat. I actually quit sailboat twice, but with two completely different mentality. So the first time was in grade 4. I was stuck in the middle of the river with my sailboat spinning around, and I kind of lost control of it. And afterwards, I was so emotionally scared to sail again, and I wasted the whole entire few months while people were learning sailboats. I was just on the side watching because I was too scared to go in, so I quit that when I was in grade 4. However, with that kind of mentality, the fear of sailboat had always stuck with me for the next 2 years. And in grade 6, I decided to give it a try again because I could not tolerate myself being like that. So I went back to sailboating, and then I gave it a try again. And this time I find it a lot more joyful, and also because I was able to swim a little bit better, so I was able to not be as scared of being stuck in the middle of the river as when I was in grade 4. And after I found the joy, we had to immigrate to Canada, so I had to give up sailboat once again, but this time I'm not afraid of it, so there's not that mental barrier compared to before when I was in grade 4. As a final takeaway, take this video as a permission for you to go out and try new things, and for you to quit that thing that you've been struggling for a while, because I know that you would not have come to this kind of decision without serious consideration, without any sort of reason. So be brave and just go out there. You will be surprised by how many different things that you will discover out there, and maybe you will find something new that makes you even happier than your current state. Thank you so much for sticking till the end with me. I hope that you'll find this video helpful in any sort of way in your life journey. So if you're interested in checking out more videos, I will link them over here. See you in the next video.